What's up, kings and queens? It's Dan from Daft Previews. Now, very different type of video that I'm making for you all, so I do hope you like this. So, to frame this up for you, I've played basketball since I was 5 years old, and I still play it to this day. So, I'm getting close to 30 years playing some basketball. And growing up, and even to this day, my handle and my playmaking skills probably been my best asset, and it's what the people in the local basketball scene do talk about. So this segment from Gils Arena was very intriguing to me. Now, this discussion was off the back of retired legends Allen Iverson and Jason White Chocolate Williams. They were saying that Kyrie Irving has the best handle ever from the NBA. So I'm going to play the clip for you, then I'll get back and I'll share my thoughts on the subject. Let's go.
I think people get confused with good dribblers, ball handlers, and handle. Two different things, right? Like Chuck, he just got to where he wanted to do. His dribbles was great enough to get to where he wanted to get to. He wasn't sitting there trying to bop, 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 bop. He was fast and quick, and he just got there, right? Jamal Crawford had a great handle. Jason Kidd was a good dribbler. Yeah. He didn't have handles, right? Sitting there and doing the same thing with Steve Nash, right? They just had a great handle. He didn't do what Kyrie did. That's, you're talking about now Wardell, Curry got that, Chris Paul got that. Like when they start doing all this shit here and throwing it between the legs, getting it back here, that's when someone's using their handle to their advantage. There's this group, there's a rarity group, and that five will be CP, Curry, Kyrie, Jamal, Crawford, and then I would have Steve Francis in there as top five.
Now, I love the way that Gilbert has broken this down, and I do have to say, I do agree with most of the things that he does say. And he's right about the difference between having handles and being a great dribbler. So I've got a list of some NBA players and my thoughts on the subject. I wanted to start with Steve Francis, though, because Gil said he would make his top five all time. And I personally wouldn't put Steve Francis in. And the reason being is Steve Francis was an excellent ball handler. Don't get me wrong. He was very street ball like with a lot of the moves that he made at the time when Steve Francis was very popular and one was coming around. And my opinion on Steve Francis has always been that he over dribbles. Like he's got a great handle. He had a deep bag, but he was a victim of over dribbling. I remember watching a lot of those Houston Rockets games and you could see him dribble himself out of gas. Like he put so many moves on, a lot of them that weren't required. He'd waste so much energy. He'd break somebody's ankles and then he'd miss the layup or he'd miss the jump shot. So I do agree. He does have a great handle. He does have a deep bag, but I don't know if he makes my top five. Now, someone who definitely makes my top five is probably number one, and it's who Allen Iverson and Jason Williams was talking about. It's Kyrie Irving. So he's my number one of my favorite players going around, despite all the issues that he's been through. But I really just love the way he's managed to put everything together. It's the total package, right? So he can break a defender down. He can make him touch the floor. And he's got this wide set of moves which involve great footwork, creativity, where if he wants a jump shot, he can get a jump shot. If you want step backs, he can do that. He can handle into spin moves, into the post. Like his overall package and how he handles that ball is the reason why that Kyrie's my number one. He's just got it all: speed, balance, footwork. He's just so creative. And he uses all his ball handling skills to get the shot that he wants. If he wants a layup, he's got a package to get a layup. If he wants a jump shot, he'll get the jump shot. If he wants a three-pointer, he can get that too. So I really just love the total package. You don't know what Kyrie Irving's going to do. He's unpredictable in the way that he plays, but a lot of the effort that he puts in is not wasted, unlike someone like Steve Francis. Now, I do agree with Gil with what he said about Jason Kidd and Steve Nash. They had really tight handles. They could go anywhere that they wanted to, and they didn't have to make all the flashy moves. Jason Kidd was a bullet. Like he could change direction on a dime and cross over in and out. That in and out they refer to on that show is one of the most potent things coming down on the fast break. So they had excellent handles. You wouldn't say that their bag was necessarily deep, but it never had to be, right? They could go where they wanted to go, and ultimately very effective in their ball handling. Now, the comment around CP3, he's definitely who would make mine. I'd probably put him number two on my list. And because when Chris Paul came through, it was really him and Deron Williams, number one point guards at that time. And I feel like they really took it to another level. So Chris Paul's handle has always been tight. His handle is tighter than my asshole. Let's not lie. But he also had a really deep bag where he could wow the crowd and he can also throw off defenders. His sham gods were amazing. He was super tight, the way he navigated around screens. on the open floor. Like you got to check out CP3 when he was in the New Orleans Pelicans or the Hornets. I don't even know which one it was at the time, but when he was playing for New Orleans, his highlight package back then was absolutely amazing. His handle was tight, but he was entertaining as hell. Very similar to Kyrie. Now, Jamal Crawford, if you want to talk about entertainment, now this guy was entertaining and flashy as hell. He had the ball on a string, and that behind the back move that no one else has seemed to replicate, it's a thing of beauty. It's something that I've added to my bag to this day. And I feel like it works every single time on a fast break. It's pretty wild. In and out, behind the back, hop to the opposite side. Like you can get layups, jump shots out of it. Jamal Crawford, like when you watch him move on a basketball court, it's like as if he's paying no attention. Like that basketball is one with him. As he moves, the ball just comes with him. So very entertaining, a style that can't be replicated. Jamal Crawford definitely needs to be on that list. The other is Steph Curry. Now he's got a unique bag of handles. His moves aren't necessarily used to beat defenders off the dribble per se. What makes his so unique is he uses his handle package to get himself open for shots. But what he also does is uses the threat of him being able to make a shot as part of his package. Like the amount of times he'll look up to the rim, head fake, eyebrow fake, just an absolute fake chowing machine, Steph Curry. But he's got a wide range of skills. Just because he's not breaking ankles and attacking the rim all the time, you probably don't get to see it in the same light as others. But his dribble package is one of the absolute best. So Steph Curry definitely needs to be on that list. And another player I wanted to talk about was Jordan Poole. Now, I never thought he'd be on the same list as Steph Curry, Crawford, CP3, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Kyrie Irving, and Steve Francis. But Jordan Poole's got a bag of his own. Like if you had never seen basketball before and you just watched Jordan Poole's NBA mixtape, you'd see some amazing highlights of his handle. Like he's got a bag. I was going to say deeper than something, but let's keep it PG. We'll try to anyway. But his bag is so deep. Now, Jordan Poole, the problem with him is that his highlights or his Shacked in a Full mixtape, you would say, that would be twice as long as his highlights of him breaking ankles and doing amazing spin moves and all that. So, like, he's somebody whose handle I would say isn't tight. Like, he's got a deep bag, a wide range of moves. He just can't be able to put it all together. And I think over time, as the game evolves, we're going to see more players with more types of skills like Jordan Poole. But if they lack the IQ, they're going to be very different to a lot of these elite point guards. So I think Kyrie is probably the greatest of all time so far, but time will not stop, and there will be other great ball handlers that come in. But really looking forward to seeing some new ball handlers with great IQ, control, and all that type of shit that can really wow us. But for me right now, I'd have to say Kyrie is clearly my number one. CP3 is a close second, and everybody else, well, I'll probably put Steph in there, but those would be my top three. So, look, my first type of video, something like this, making me a little bit vulnerable, sharing my thoughts and opinions, quite different to what I have been doing. But if it's something that you do like, it's something that I'm thinking about doing moving forward. So let me know in the comment section below. Who makes your top five? If we're talking about handles of all time. And if you disagree with me or Gils Arenas, put your reasons as to why in the comment section below. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.